Hello and welcome back, everybody. SF Live breaking news special. We have a busy Monday today. It's not just because of the silver squeeze, but companies are delivering results, drill results, other news as well. Hence, we're talking to Marcio Fonseca in a couple seconds. He's president and CEO of GR Silver Mining, and the company just closed an acquisition in Mexico. And we're going to get to the details of that in just a few seconds, as mentioned. But before we do that, make sure to follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, hit the like and subscribe button, leave a comment. What do you think of the acquisition? What do you think of the interview format? We want to hear from you. And without further ado, now let me switch over to Marcio. Marcio, wonderful. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I just asked you before we went live, how excited are you these days? You're a silver exploration company with 48 million ounces in the ground. How excited are you with what's happening?
Very excited. And with the acquisition, more excited today than I was yesterday, for sure.
For sure. It's like I mentioned to you, like on Thursday, we've seen a complete sentiment change. I did an interview Thursday with a market specialist or a market expert, and I was like, what are we doing? Right? Like, why do we keep investing in gold and silver? Nothing is happening. We're just flat. And now we're here. Right? Silver just broke $30. Quite excited. And you guys had some really good news as well. So let's get to that. Run us through the news. You bought a project from Mako Mining. Who or what did you acquire?
Okay. We bought, it's a share agreement. We bought a company in Canada that control the Mexican subsidiary that control 100,000 hectares of concessions near our core assets, Plomosas and San Marcial. It's a very expressive addition to the portfolio because it's not grassroots. It's a past producer, and we have a series of silver gold rich old artisanal workings that we have validated so far in the properties.
Yeah, perfect. And I just have the map up of the whole area of Sinaloa there. Run us through the acquisition. Like, what does the size mean? Because you're acquiring La Trinidad, and that's the gray blurb here on the map. It's massive. Can you tell us about that consolidation process? And we're going to talk deal terms in a second.
For sure. This is part of a whole process that started 2 years ago, but goes back to the team and management that has been working in the district for more than 15 years. We know all the key assets, and the concessions are made of the La Trinidad, which is the past producer gold mine with a lot of targets for drill around, and other concessions. Altogether, they made 100,000 hectares. And the La Trinidad has a portion that's exactly between Plomosas and San Marcial, which is very strategic for this company.
Fantastic. Run us through the deal terms. Or actually, no, let me back one up. You mentioned, like, you've been looking at this district for a while, and I saw a tweet this morning from Akiba Leishman, actually. He was the CEO of Mako. You had a discussion with him about the whole area already in 2007 while you were still at Macquarie, if I'm not mistaken, about considering consolidating that. So you've been focused on this, and my point is really that you are really interested in this district, and it's not just a spur-of-the-moment kind of acquisition. Is that correct?
You are 100% right. This is a part of a long process. It started many years ago when I was investment banker and now running GR Silver, because the history of the district has been that a lot of companies controlling isolated assets, never really consolidated. And today, with the announcement, we are the first company ever to be likely controlling 100% of all the most important assets in the Rosario Mining District.
Fantastic. Now, run us through the deal terms. Like, La Trinidad is an old mining project, actually. There were some mine facilities on there. Run us through, A, the deal terms, and B, what are you acquiring exactly besides the land package, obviously?
For sure. It's a small cash payment, 50,000. We are not going to issue any shares to Mako. We are going to grant a royalty, 1%, which will have a buyback, fixed price, 2 million. They have liabilities that related to the mining concessions only, all the 100,000 hectares of close to 9.3 million US dollars. But it's important to say that the core concession that we are really interested in, we are looking very hard, is La Trinidad. It's 3.5 million US dollars. And the company does need to pay this at closing because, as a reference, the team and directors have been working in Mexico for more than 15 years, and including we have a former secretary of mines as board of director. So we know that there are ways to refinance, reduce, eliminate, divest assets that are non-core.
Okay.
And just to add on your question, what's left there? Buildings, camp, some basic infrastructure. There's some ounces left on the heap leach pad, a small amount. Permits. It's a past producer. We can really maybe restart some operations there in the future. And combine with San Marcial and Plomosas can be a fully integrated mining company.
Interesting. So fully permitted still, so you can actually, so the permits will be grandfathered to GR Silver?
Uh, the permits are going to stay with the company that we are buying in Mexico, Oro Gold. And they are doing a reclamation. It's part of the deal that they need to finish all the closure and reclamation. And post-close, we might really review if it's important to go back to the environmental agents and keep the door open for future restart if we decide to do it.
Okay, perfect. Let me just backtrack just for 1 second. You said you made a couple interesting statements. Within the next 60 days, you're going to close the deal, and it says by March 31st, you're planning to close. And you have to pay the $3.5 million US, sort of the liabilities that are on the project. Can you run us through the idea of refinancing again? Like, what's the plan there? How to finance the $3.5 million?
The plan is to use a very common mechanism in Mexico where we can approach the tax department and ask to, instead of have the whole total paid, we can make a down payment and refinance the outstanding, probably 24, 36 months.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, okay. I think that should leave some pressure off as well, because one of the problems we all know, and it's not a secret in the market, is that La Trinidad had those tax liabilities.
Yeah, yeah.
And but you're only paying $50,000 for the project, so Mako obviously wanted to get rid of it as well. Let's talk about the next steps now that you have the project. Yes, refinance, closing. What is coming after that?
What's coming up now at the company is to put in place this strategy to refinance all the 3.5 or $9.3 million. We are going to decide the next 60 days. In relation to drilling, we know already there are 5, 6 areas that we know where we can drill, particularly between San Marcio and Plomosas. And important to say that as part of the deal, we got a database that goes back 15 years, more than $18 million US of exploration investments. We are not buying a piece of land. We know all the areas where we can drill and even do a resource in the future.
Fantastic. And any budgets or any meters or anything? Like, I know you've been looking at this for over a year because you announced the first LOI back in 2019, right? So, where are you going to poke the holes? What's the plan?
We have an internal budget, but it's important to say that we execute the deal, and now we have to close by March 31st. Between now, there will be some tweaking. I prefer to keep that out of the day.
As you can tell, like, I'm quite excited, not just about the acquisition, but overall the excitement in the market. So I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. So.
Yeah, well, it's true. But just as information, we have 5 geologists, 6 months working inside these concessions.
Then you know what is going on there. So you've seen it. And I've actually been to San Marcial, and we looked over to La Trinidad. It's pretty much a stone's throw away. So I could probably hit it. Let's quickly talk about it. It was headline news in Canada this weekend as well. Justin Trudeau said no travel south. How is that affecting your operations and your plans to travel to the project?
Yeah, we continue to work in Mexico. We follow all the Mexican guidelines for COVID, and in Canada, the Canadian. Of course, it's going to provide present some challenges, but we can explore alternatives to travel, and having 3 or 4 executives who are fully fluent in Spanish, we can have a rotation every month who is going there. Actually, the new VP of Exploration is about to go to Mexico.
Fantastic.
Almost a month.
Yeah, no, so you'll be fully staffed on the ground, and you've got lots of geologists on the ground as well. So just making sure that there's no hindrance in operations, right? So that's why I'm asking, because it has been headline news here in Canada.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So fantastic. Marcio, that was a great update. Thanks for running us through this. The stock should come off the halt within the next 20 minutes, I understand. As you said, it's customary to wait an hour before the hold comes off after the press release comes out, obviously. So good luck with trading. Good luck with the news, and we're going to have you back soon and get some more details on the transaction, on Plomosas, on San Marcial, on La Trinidad. I'm sure there's lots to follow. So appreciate you joining us this morning, Marcio.
Thank you again.
Fantastic. And everybody else, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. This was SF Live, a breaking news special. Keep in mind, we do own shares in the company. They are a client of Soar Financial. So keep that in mind when you do your due diligence. And make sure to follow us on YouTube, on Twitter. Hit the like and subscribe button. And we'll be back with another breaking news special, actually, at 8:45 a.m. Pacific here with Maritime Resources talking about their new discovery as well this morning. Marcio, thanks so much. We'll